record, and Simply TOOBASED has looked as good as their record.
Pretty much. I think that's
saying anything.
I think that's a pretty good simplification of it, really. I'm with Lacoste here. I think this is an insane PL game when he gets farmed. Some of the things that Cap pointed out, I think, are valid points here. You can Dream Coil into Nether Toxin. That's very good against the PL. But at the same time, you're playing against double save. And can you really burst this guy with your lineup? You got to be really clever about how you take fights as Simply TOOBASED. It might be finding a first blood here nice and pale. Earth Spike. You almost got me, Sunsman, but not quite.
Yep, that was me. Got you.
Nice Earth Spike there from Dunha will keep him alive. Get away, and they will only place.
I don't know if you know this, but Impale and Earthspike are totally different spells.
They are.
Like, not even remotely close.
They really are very
Getting
different.
them confused is just shows your low IQ, Cinderin. Definitely not something that I share on a daily basis.
No, you need to have one to have a low one.
Just one? That's not true. If you have 0 IQ, you're probably brain dead, by the way, but you still have a low IQ.
Why do you keep explaining my joke, making fun of you? It's not doing you any favors.
This is just expounding on the fact of my low IQ. It's illustrating.
This is great.
To the viewers that you're mean and I am dumb. So it will be Ryoya mid as per norm on this puck. And it's going to be against Shaggy's OD, which Jenkins has said many a time is... Like, Shaggy has some heroes that he is just very, very good with, and OD is at the top of it.
Yep. I think mainly OD and Quap has been what he's been playing in this tournament, and if you ban both of them, you're giving away Timber to 0, so you kind of got to pick your poison. We did see a Timber in the last game of Arkosh really struggle because it got like double or triple counterpick. Gremlo was having a hard time, but in a lot of the series that we've seen, it hasn't really been the case. I guess maybe better banning patterns from some of the other teams have prevented situations like that. But this time around, obviously no Timber for 0. He's going to be playing Legion Commander. We'll be laning against TA. I would say that's a relatively good lane for TA. You're playing against a melee hero that doesn't have significant damage burst, and if it does, you have refraction against the individual instances. Good to check in with Flea's forehead there once again. It's a mandatory part of every Simply TOOBASED game.
You would think these players would want to show their face to try to market themselves in some way, but just doing the usual NA classic of not caring.
Oh, he has a camera on. That's, you know.
I think that is a requirement or you get forfeited. If I'm not
we've had some players with not working cameras at least.
Then we should go back and forfeit them. Little Nick
playing from...
Looking younger by the day.
Just playing from BSJ's room, same lighting.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
This will be quite a lot of pressure onto Lion, actually. Here, Dunha will have to Earth Spike the Viper or almost die. Wow. I'm surprised.
It looks like he'll just run away and be fine.
I think I'm surprised Lil Nick didn't place himself more offensively there during that Nightmare. If he cuts off the Lion's path between himself in the sleep and the tower, he might have honestly died, or at least had to run a really long way around. But at the end of the day, he does get out. Now, Jubei is going to show up here, and we have a try versus try lane. LC will now be laning 1v1 against TA, and I think that changes the dynamic quite a bit, because you can press the attack off the meld, which TA uses to win against melee heroes a lot of the time. In a 2v2 lane, I would say this is way easier for TA, but I still think Ollie will be okay despite this.
Yeah, I mean, I assume once he gets side blades, it's going to be hard for LC to stay in lane. Is that not the case?
It depends. LC does have some decent sustain. We're probably going to see Zero just skill 0-4-4, or maybe like 1-4-4. And as long as he can press the attack off the Melt Strike, I think he can actually stand his ground, and ultimately both heroes are kind of just going to farm in the end. Legion Commander will also buy armor items inherently. He wants to buy Helm of the Dominator, or sorry, not Helm of the Dominator, Armlet. Actually going for it here with the Orb of Venom, but yep, gonna think twice about that. TA did hit level 3 first with 2 in refraction. That's just way too much damage.
Yep. All right, so rate these tries. So we got PL Ogre Lion versus Bane Monkey King and the position 3 Viper. Would you rather be on one side or the other?
I would rather be on the Simply TOOBASED side. I think their lane's just flat out stronger. Viper is a phenomenal laner when it hits level 3, and a lot of the times in tri lanes, that's what it's all about. It's that timing when, once the supports get a little bit more, He's going to be level 3. The supports are going to be level 2. Actually, could be a problem here for Jubei if they do want to go for the Overvenom. Playing very defensively here, actually, simply 2-based. I'm surprised they're even concerned. Oh, they're going to TP down.
Yeah, they're switching things up. It's going to end up being a duel lane. Now, Dunhao came to the bot lane to try to get a kill onto Ollie. Didn't work out, but it does at the very least force Empyrean out of that top lane. So now we're into the good old-fashioned 2-1-2.
Yep.
And we'll see if they can end up getting a first blood of some kind in this bot lane, but it'll be difficult. Ollie doesn't really have much mana to work with, though. So Zero and Dunhao getting very aggressive. Sleep. Onto Zero. Gonna take a couple more right clicks now. Ollie with the big meld strike as well. Zero has to be careful. Wanted to stand his ground. Kind of stutter steps in the trees.
Oh, Ollie stopped the attack animation.
I thought that was gonna... Yeah.
He had it going. He didn't think he was in range. And what started that whole thing off, I think Lion actually stood in a spot that blocked off the Legion's path. So the pathing of that he was just trying to run back to tower, but I think Lion was blocking the path, so he started running right. But a little bit of a mistake. Still stays alive though. That was scary. And could have been a very big first blood. Oh, oops. Missed some.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss impale / earth spike. I'm just going to call it that forever.
That's a good point. If your earth spikes do get cast like that, it kind of reminds you of impale because that's harder to hit since it's ground target only.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Maybe
it is difficult to miss the earth spike.
Maybe Lion has impale in this game, and some Nixes have earth spike, and they never miss.
Yeah, it could be a reverse patch kind of deal for sure. Empyrean taking a lot of damage bottom lane, but looks like he's going to survive. But top lane, Flea and Nick trying to chase Jubei. Ryze is looking for the courier instead. Not sure if he's going to Yep, just gets that last right click off, but it's going to cost him first blood as Jubei will go down to Lil Nick. So first blood for the position 3 Viper. And the one lane that we haven't discussed too much is this mid lane, Shaggy versus Ryoya, 23-6 to 18-4.
Yep.
How would you rate like the hero versus hero match? Like, should it be going slightly OD favored?
I think so, theoretically speaking, right? OD will get an early ring of health because he doesn't need to buy any mana regen the way the hero works. He was thinking about ulting here on Ryoya. Oh, he missed!
Oh, misses. Unfortunate for him.
Oof.
Tough to say how much damage that would have done.
I think it would have killed him. It would be close at least. Shaggy. Oof. Okay,
yeah, he did pop the Fairy Fire in anticipation of that as well.
So what you do as OD in this lane is you go for this build. You max out Astral, and then every time Puck gets in range, you just banish him. You keep that harassment up, and if he tries to harass you back, well, you've got Ring of Health. So you're just passively winning with that, and then you even buy this value range drop, Shaggy. I like that a lot. Unfortunate for him that he misses the ult there. That would have probably been a kill and a big advantage for him. He's still winning, though. Puck has to go back now, so he will be a few hundred gold ahead.
Yep, he'll be certainly happy with how things are going right now. Working on the usual Meteor Hammer, only a 300 away from finishing it, so that's going to be a really fast one. Let's see what kind of pressure he can have once the item's in his inventory. Rises, you're talking about how this hero feels kind of uncountered on the PL.
Yep.
Once he gets, I think the panel said 3 items. Would you put them on the same timetable?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe even 2. Just Manta Scotty would be pretty big. I don't know if he needs Diffusal here. Oh, Flea's going to go on him together with Lil Nick. A lot of pressure, but Rises is already out of there. And he even managed to quell the tree there. Nicely done. So, I think Rises might have misclicked his skill build. This is very unusual.
Oh, wow.
You'll almost always see PLs go 1-1-3. You just want all of that agility when you're farming. I don't know if he thought he needed lower cooldown on Doppelganger for this lane, just so he can remove poison more often. Maybe that's the idea, in which case it definitely makes sense, but I don't know how good it is. He's holding his point for now, the 5th one. They're just letting him, they're leaving him up here to dry, honestly. His farm is not bad, by any means. He has 33, it's actually pretty damn good. But nobody's helping Rises for quite a while now.
Yeah, and he's getting solo XP as well, like you said, which means that rotations can be attempted here. Jubei still level 2 in the jungle, by the way. That is very low level. Yeah. Does have boots, so it can try to gank here. As you can see, Shaggy with that Meteor Hammer. It is pretty difficult to get that combo onto Puck, so we'll probably just try to push the lane / farm or gank.
Close call from Rises there. Tries to doppelganger break the tree that Flea was in. Flea is just overlooking him farming, stealing half the experience. As PL, you really want to get level 6 so you can start jungling. And Flea has delayed this.
Oh, mid lane. We're going to see the first coil of the game. It's going to be on the level 3 Ogre Magi Jubei. He falls. But Shaggy's the important one. He's going to be able to walk away just fine.
And he'll still be able to contest bottom rune. It's not there, though. Arcane rune for Ryoya.
Yeah, but he's going to TP top with that news. And Lil Nick,
I really like this move from Shaggy. This is very good.
And likely to be taken down with ease. Last click goes to Rises. So
oh, they're dueling bot as well.
Some much needed farm. Yeah, we got the duel come out. Ollie, he's not going to go down to the duel itself, but will die regardless.
So, to me, what makes this move from Shaggy so good is that we're at the 8-minute mark, right? He goes bot rune. The rune isn't there. Now, inherently, what most players will do then is like, oh crap, I didn't get the rune. You go back to mid, right? But he immediately uses that as a surprise factor because the other team is finding the top rune, and that will make their players feel more safe because like, oh, we got the rune, so OD is not making a move. But he immediately makes a move out of not getting the rune. I think that's very cool and creative in that moment to find a kill onto the Viper. So, nicely done.
Yeah, I like it. Ollie, TPing back to the bot lane. In terms of his net worth.
Oh, he's on a trap.
Top 4 technically is Dunhow. He's going to get trapped.
No mana for Nightmare.
Another trap to follow, but they're not going to pursue. Doesn't look like a 0 is in the area. And Duel is back up. Very low cooldown, 50 seconds. And he is... What is he going with this Helm Iron Will? Is it going to be the Helm of the Dominator?
No, I mean, I'm
Or are you going Armlet still?
I'm assuming you still go Armlet. It's very good this game. You want the armor against TA and arguably against Monkey King. Toggling is tricky against Viper, but like the panel pointed out, you can press off 2 of Viper's dots. You can't press off the ult, but you can press off the other 2. And if you do that, you can toggle. And I also just think the way their lineup works, I think it's good if the Legion Commander does damage in the mid game, because you need to bridge the gap until PL is online. So I would like to see him be strong at fighting like minute 15 to 25, and if he falls off after that, it's fine. Then PL can take over some more. But Armlet is one of those insane value items in that minute range, so would be a good pickup here, I think. Coil.
And we are at level 10. We see the coil come out, and you will be able to see which one is the real Rises. Not that he has a ton of illusions to speak of anyway. And that's going to be a very easy gank here for Simply TOOBASED, and a high-value kill as well. I mean, that's a PL that has treads, I think he's finishing Yasha first, and then Diffusal, it looks like.
Considering how quietly Black and Yellow are playing this, I feel like Ogre should be there, covering for his PL. Either PL needs to farm deeper into the jungle or play triangle area, or the Ogre needs to be there to either take that gank or to protect with a stun and maybe some Bloodlust or whatever, you know, to try to help PL get away. That was a kill that Simply TOOBASED are going to be very happy to get, because it also leads them into the top tier 1 tower. It's going to cost them bot eventually here. 0 will claim that with Shaggy. TP from Puck is too late.
Tier 1 tower, very low, but they might have to abandon this attempt as Ryoya is here with the help of Flea. They're going to go on 0. As you can see, the Fiend's Grip has been picked up finally. They're going to get a big kill onto 2 heroes potentially. Shaggy just on the outskirts, but Ryoya able to get there with the Illusory Orb. So LC and OD die.
Nice kills.
So Simply TOOBASED off to a very good laning advantage right now.
They were too late to defend the tower, but they find 2 picks that make it well worth it. That was the position 2 and 3 on 1 gank, so if that tower was going to fall anyway, you might as well try to grab something out of it. They put a little bit of pressure mid with their own siege creep, which dies now, so mid tower's half. Simply TOOBASED's own mid tower looking very healthy currently, so a good advantage there. Will take a while before they can really finish the mid tower, though. Like, their lineup doesn't do a particularly good job at pushing. So it's going to take some time.
I think the XP advantage has been definitely in favor of Simply TOOBASED as well. I mean, at the 10-minute mark with the Tome, the Bane hit level 6, and that Fiend's Grip was really powerful. And you can see Jubei took the Tome, is still 5.5 right now. He's going to get slept, but here come some reinforcements. Monkey King looking to finish him off with a Boundless Strike. Looks like Ryoya gets credit for that one. Ends up being a pretty easy kill, and Black and Yellow not wanting to fight quite yet. So it will be Diffusal first, by the way. He has a Band of Elven Skin. I thought it was going to be a Yasha, but changed his mind.
I don't like them giving up this tower with just a dead Ogre. I feel like this was defendable. It might not be an easy fight, but I think you could at least have tried to like poke and prod, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they just couldn't defend, but that's a grim outlook.
And Dunhow gets jumped. Ryoya pops the illusion rune, and looks like Dunhow's going to die one way or the other here. They're actually going to expend coil, so maybe a little bit more than they wanted to use, but they get the kill nonetheless. So for Black and Yellow, it feels like they're playing a little bit passive. I know part of it is because Jubei just doesn't have multicast yet, which he's going to get in just a second here. So it feels like that's a pretty big power spike for them. But is there an item like the Diffusal or Shaggy going for the BKB that they need before they can fight, or do you think they're being just a little too passive right now?
So what I thought they would have now would be the Armlet on Legion, and that she could be like a buffer to defend towers and just fight, but she's going for Blink straight away. So you're not going to have that real frontline hero. All of your heroes are very susceptible to death now against the massive damage output that the Radiant can do. So I think that makes the fighting a lot harder. The Diffusal will come out now. So it'll be something for Rises. His farm is still okay, but the Radiant team, like, all three top cores are well ahead of their counterparts, actually, here. Basically everyone ahead by 1,000. So it's looking great for Simply TOOBASED currently.
Indeed. Empyrean has the Fiend's Grip available. Boundless Strike might be setting it up. Indeed it does. Can they find the range to cancel? Jubei finally with the Fire Blast, but Shaggy already at half HP. Wukong's command is expended, but they can't keep anybody in the ring. So it looks like Black and Yellow are very happy to just walk away.
Oh, Ryoya was 4 seconds off having coil. Imagine if you had coil there. It's like 4-second cooldown. That was a triple coil into silence. They would have wiped them there easily. What?
They're going to scan, so they know that they're in the area and might want to re-aggress. Regen rune taken by Ryoya, though.
Was that
into
smoke?
A smoke.
Oh, they saw that.
And now only one hero is smoked. Flea on the tree, giving a lot of vision right now. Doesn't have boots, but guy has his Orb of Corrosion. And by the way, Zero did end up changing his mind again and did go Armlet after he basically had enough gold for the Blink.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Because now you got it too late.
Indeed. Dunhow looks like he is going to drop here one way or the other. So Simply TOOBASED getting whatever they want, and Black and Yellow very passive. It feels like they're waiting for something specific.
It is a downside of their lineup is that their playmaking potential largely comes from a mid OD who got counterpicked, right? You're counterpicked by Bane, you're counterpicked by... Oh, that depends. Like, goes both ways. Counterpicked by Monkey King, like the panel pointed out, with the... Even level 1 Boundless Strikes is super annoying to deal with for him. But yeah, I don't know if you can just keep doing this as Black and Yellow. You're not playing 50% of the map, realistically speaking, right now. So you will be falling more and more behind. Coil.
Another coil. Another support kill, it's looking like. So they're taking what they can get. They're going to scout out this camp being taken up by Rises. He's just going to brush it off. Considering how much they're fighting, I'm a little surprised they've been using coil on just singular supports.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
like I said in the last fight, they had a good opportunity to get a juicy one.
Something they might be worried about in a spot like that one against Ogre is if he doesn't coil and Ogre gets to the high ground and they get baited in, that's a really unfavorable position. So sometimes you just want to get it done and get out. If that was on their own side of the map, I think the coil is a total waste. But
it must have been with an Arcane rune, right? I mean, it's only 38 seconds left on cooldown, so must have been.
Yeah, I think he might have had Arcane, yeah. Walking up.
Simply TOOBASED have such good control of the map right now. Zero with the armor like we talked about, now working towards the Blink Dagger, still 1,000 away from that. Shaggy in the meantime was going for BKB, but changed his mind and is now going Witchblade, still 500 for that. They're not really close to anything that's going to be hugely impactful. Dunhow is found in the trees and brought down. Again.
That was really naive. So he knew that Monkey King saw him, right? Like, Monkey King was jumping toward him, he kept trying to run away, and then he still went for the TP when Monkey will easily find vision and just get a stun off. So that was never going to work. Nice from...
lane Rises. Now, Flea's going to jump in, but he's not anything to fear right now. Just trying to clear the wave. And you can see Black and Yellow all grouping up together while their tier 2 tower is taken out. They're doing some damage to this tier 2 bot in the meantime, but it's certainly not going to be a trade yet. And Black and Yellow feel... I mean, I feel like we've seen this before where they just, like, game 1, they come out very flat. And then game 2, they come back and they look way better. But it's like they're not warmed up or something. Not to take credit away from Simply TOOBASED, of course. You can see the coil into the grip. Zero, taking a lot of damage. Reinforcements will not be here. So that's going to be yet another freebie for Simply TOOBASED with a 5K net worth lead at 18 minutes.
Look how tanky he was there. Like, imagine that kind of posture at the mid-tier 1 tower if he had his armlet when that was being pushed, or in one of these other moments. Like, if he's in position to take damage for his team, I do think you can set up for the type of fight that PL can win. You have the control of Lion backing you up, you have a save from OD. Legion Commander frontlining of this build is not bad, but you got it that little bit too late, and Simply TOOBASED got too much pressure on the map before it happened, so you already lost mid-tier 1, you lost top tier 2, and now you lost Roche. And at this point, unfortunately, I want to say a really big portion of what the armlet was supposed to do has just disappeared, right? So now it just feels bad almost to have an armlet. It is still a good item. It's by no means like done, but a big part of why you bought it on Legion this game would be for the last 5 minutes. So that sucks for him, but great for Simply TOOBASED. They get Roche, they get Aegis onto Ollie. He has Dragonlance Deso, is working on BKB. Got Ryoya with the blink on Puck. Oh, there's a duel.
Yeah, we have a duel bottom lane, and this looks like it's going to be the first duel victory of the game for Zero.
OD loves
10
playing
damage.
with Bloodlust. It is so strong on this hero.
Yeah, true.
Went for the Witchblade. I don't know about that one, Chief. I feel like that's a little bit greedy here.
Did you just say Chief?
Did you just hear Chief?
I did.
Then maybe I said it.
And? What prompted Chief? This has literally derailed our cast because that's so weird of you to do. Ryoya jumps in, but he's going to get Earth Spiked.
That was Impale.
AKA Impale, of
It
course.
hit, so wait.
Shaggy with the Tumbler's Toy, not able to get out of range of the coil, but there's the press the attack, but it looks like he's still going to go down to the Illusory Orb, and Dunhow just walks in. Oh my god, a Ravage! Speaking of different abilities, he's still going to get blown up.
That was an Earth Spike.
That was definitely a Ravage, but it mattered not. 2 dead for Black and Yellow. Aegis still online for Simply TOOBASED. Still 3 minutes on it, too. Chief.
Don't you know that meme? Not sure about that one, Chief, or however it is. Something like that. If I say something weird, just assume it's a song lyric or a meme, okay? You're going to be right 90% of the time.
So I should just assume you're saying something smart?
That would also be a really good assumption, actually. That's a quote
I used
from a
to
song.
do that, and then I just realized that you're not as smart as you sound.
Oh. Well, it was a
You're
really
even smarter, Cinder.
It was a good couple years. Oh, that's way too kind. Don't lie to me on stream.
Thank you. That's all I do. My entire life is lying to you on stream. I love casting with Cinderin. Black and Yellow.
Same.
They're gonna smoke up.
Oh,
Ryoya
Shaggy.
breaking the smoke in the trees. He's gonna blink him with the Waning Rift. An Illusory Orb out. And they've already taken so much damage. Dunhow is dying to just traps and a right click from Ollie. My goodness. Simply TOOBASED looking basically like we thought Black and Yellow would
Basically,
look.
I love it.
Thank you. That was definitely on purpose.
It was good. If I'm funny, it's
Appreciate
a quote or a meme. If you're funny, it's a coincidence. But I'll give you credit for a good coincidence.
All right,
That was good.
Appreciate that.
Very nice. Uh-oh. Shaggy.
Coil again, reserved for Shaggy. There's no LC in the vicinity, but the Boundless Strike is there with the Wukong's command being faked out. Illusory Orb just clips him, gets off the Astral Imprisonment. We'll see if he's going to die afterwards. He does to the Waning Rift, and now inside the Wukong. Oh my god, the right click from Ollie.
Did you know Ogre's the tank to
Deletes
support?
Ogre. And this game is looking well in favor of Simply TOOBASED.
There's just Black
And again, the ramifications of losing this series are very big. You will be relegated to Division 2.
Might be some nerves. Zero in
next
the
season.
interview said Simply TOOBASED are garbage. Well, it's some good trash this game, you gotta say.
Simply, just to remind people, Simply TOOBASED and Black and Yellow, they have the same record series-wise, but Black and Yellow has won way more games. Let me see if I can find it. So 2 and 10 in terms of games for Simply TOOBASED, 6 and 11 for Black and Yellow. So totally different, but they're still tied.
Yep. At the end of the day, in best of threes, you got to win 2 games, or it won't matter most of the time. Unless you get into a tiebreaker, all of those single game wins are worth zilch. Chief.
Zilch. Chief.
Oh,
Great.
there's a duel.
Oh, now we have the duel onto Ollie. Remember, this is the Aegis target, and it looks like he might be taking the damage for himself. Nope, not quite in time, but they still find the kill nonetheless. And they're going to get a second, and this is looking just awful for Black and Yellow. Simply TOOBASED crushing right now. Goodness gracious.
I wonder if it's
some item progress here as well. Lil Nick has the BKB, is working on a Mjolnir. Ollie, the Aegis is expiring in 30 seconds, but obviously has the BKB Deso Dragonlance, and looks like Lincoln's is next. I guess to avoid the duel more than anything, although didn't really mind it there.
That is that's a full-on desperation move. Like, I don't know what else to say. You're dueling a guy with Aegis in the triangle that has some sort of support around him. And even if he doesn't, you're only getting the Aegis there. You're not going to kill him twice, realistically speaking, before backup arrives. So I think Black and Yellow are just frustrated and are trying to get something to happen, right? Like they're looking for moves. They're not finding them. Their OD on Shaggy, you know, has had a huge impact in some of their games. It's been very quiet this game. Yeah, just every move gets countered. The support Monkey King is doing a really good job progressing with the vision on the map and keeping them all safe, keeping the info going. They have TA traps for vision. Black and Yellow are just cornered. You know, if you're Zero and you're in a pregame interview, say the other team is garbage, right? And you get rolled in game 1. Yeah. How do you feel after that? How do you recover? And what type of garbage? If you were to say good garbage, what would be good garbage?
Like recyclable garbage, like a can, aluminum can, nice and clean.
Oh, that was actually a way smarter way of thinking about it. I was thinking about what do you throw away, and it's like a really good bag of garbage, like some nice duck that got too old or something. But.
Okay, well, your garbage is a little different than mine. I mean, I know you were thinking like dirty diaper as well. That could probably be in there, Synderen.
That's not good garbage, no. I have no idea where you got that from.
It means you're able to procreate, so that's good news at least.
That's pretty messed up.
Unless you're using it for yourself. All right, we're not going to go any further with that. That's an old conversation.
There, are we?
Maybe one day. So are they using a Discord server? I guess they're being monitored, right? By the admins? That's why they're asking the admins to look into the Discord server?
Maybe.
Must be.
I don't know for a fact if that's the case, but it does sound like
that must be, because that's how they're getting the webcams and all that.
This is one of the biggest assets to a 4 Monkey King, right? So you have the stun that is unpredictable. You never really know when you can get hit by it. He's very mobile. He's decent in lane, but that part of the hero in this stage of the game, I think, is the absolute strongest. The ability to ward like this. If you have any sort of idea of the map placement of the enemy wards based on how you've played the last 5 minutes, Monkey King can access any part of the map. He technically has reached that invisible heroes sometimes don't, because he can get like different angles by just going off trees. And he'll find Shaggy.
Shaggy gets boundless struck, and he is going to have to just stand his ground. Sadly for him, it's against 4 members of Simply TOOBASED, so he's going to go down. So I think my theory right now, what they're waiting for is, well, the BKB is going to be really late for Shaggy, but I think it's more so this Heart for right. This is such an interesting build. Diffusal, Yasha, Heart. Very strange, but just wants to get super tanky.
It's not that uncommon, or well, it wasn't. It's not that common right now, because I think most PLs will go Diffusal Manta Skadi or Diffusal Skadi. But yeah, he needs to beef up. Like, his illusions have to be overwhelmingly tanky so that extended fights will favor them. I don't know if this is better than Skadi, being honest. I think just getting 1 hit in with his primary PL to get that guaranteed long slow would be nice. He can't fully rely on Diffusal anymore. But either way, he needed some sort of beef so that he can fight. And yeah, it'll help. And it is, like we talked about pre-game, it is a really good PL game, but there's a limit to what you can overcome. Okay, that was probably unnecessary to borrow there.
Yeah, seen a lot of those.
Duel on Monkey King.
You're really going ham. Yeah, duel top lane. And winner, chicken dinner, 0. Now 30 damage to his name. They could infinitely scale with this LC Cinder, and he's close to Shard as well. which means that he can actually break himself out of coil, if I'm not mistaken, unless there's an Aghanim Scepter, which doesn't look like Puck is building right now. Oh, rises. Oh my god. He can buy the... Oh, actually dodges the Waning Rift. Nicely done. Walking away.
They got him.
Slept.
They don't got him. They got him. They don't got him.
Oh, all right, press the attack. He's going to turn it back onto Empyrean. He's going to get that kill. Ollie, in the meantime, focusing on the illusions. Looks like he's in the trees now. Rises. A couple more right clicks will suffice.
Oh my god.
Down he goes, but I believe he did purchase the... No, he still hasn't, but he has enough money for the VIP booster either way. So when he respawns, he will have heart. We'll see how much it actually matters. 22-5. Simply TOOBASED with a 14K network lead, and nothing stopping them now into going high ground.
It is a rough game for Jubei, man. He's not having fun, I think. He's 0-8-0. I think he's died more times than he has cast Fire Blast on an enemy hero. Like, it feels like most of the times I see him on the screen, he shows up to a carry that gets jumped, and he just dies and doesn't cast a spell. Like, every time. He's just being screwed. It's rough. Playing Ogre when behind sucks. Like, you're so team dependent, you can't really make like very big plays for the most part. You're like a very...
That's when you buy Midas, Cinderin, right?
If he wanted to, he couldn't afford it. Maybe. He actually could have got a Midas by now. He could have had it now. 27 Midas.
And I can tell you from experience, I don't know if it's different in EU, but NA pubs, that is very standard. Position 5 Ogre will always buy Midas at my skill level, which isn't saying much, obviously. As we have Roshan number 2 being taken by Simply TOOBASED, not going to be contested at all. And we'll see who the shard goes to. Looks like Ollie's creating space just for that, so his traps will silence now. What happened to the Ags build, by the way, for TA? Is it not important in this game specifically, or is it just not as good as it used to be?
I think it's still fine. In this game, I don't mind that he's playing more tempo with his items and just like wanting to be hard-hitting right now. I think Ags would have worked with, like, realistically speaking, with how this game was going, he could have bought a lot of different stuff, right? They're just so far ahead. But if you do go this path, I think it's fine to not get it at all this game. It's not really that much of a split push game. You're just killing them all the time in as like a group. And now you're going to siege high ground. For this, it wouldn't be very useful. It's like 4,200 dead gold here.
Yep, that is true. Unless you put one in their fountain just to be able to kill them real quick and then zip out again. It's great for fountain diving.
Yes. Oh, dude, I
know you're a big fountain diver yourself, so.
I'm not sold on Shaggy's build this game, man. I just got to be honest. Like, now he went Dragonlance after that. It's just... Yeah. I think the mindset here is I have Bloodlust and we have damage issues. I need to hit a lot. I would have liked to see either a BKB or maybe an Ags, and you're literally playing around more about the defensive capabilities of your hero and letting PL do a lot, and then your ult will be the damage. If you get multiple banishes off on enemy heroes in an extended fight, then you can still do really good damage.
To be fair, it does feel bad to get BKB when there's a Viper Strike Fiend script. Especially as an OD.
It does, but then they have to put it on you, right? Because you can't... Like, you're going to save your ally anyway if they grip someone else. So I guess with that logic, maybe you're thinking, okay, well, they're going to grip me, so why would I buy a BKB? I just think it gives him flexibility when other spells are used. I don't know, maybe the BKB isn't the right one, but then I like the Ags still. Like, there was just some alternative.
What do you think of Glimmer Cape as a mid-OD?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Very interesting.
I mean, he
like
obviously plays this
I
hero a lot more than I do. That's for sure. So, and I get it. Like, I get it with Bloodlust that you want to hit hard here, and maybe this is good for this situation because you're this far behind. Like, maybe I'm thinking about it from an even perspective, and he's just going for, you know, the YOLO, everything goes right fight. We're gonna come back from that, but this is a DDT.
Ollie is actually alone here. They don't really know that. He pops the DD. There's the duel into the sheep. Can they get the kill? It looks like they will, but that is the Aegis, of course. Wukong's command from the side. Flea gets a nice boundless strike onto 2 heroes. Ryoya forcing out Shaggy. The Fiend's Grip is going to finish him off. And it looks like Jubei is next on the list. The buyback onto the Lion. So the only thing that Simply TOOBASED have lost is the Aegis here, I do believe.
Yeah, they're losing.
And they're going to find the LC next. So a pretty easy fight for Simply TOOBASED. I mean, if that was no Aegis, then that's totally different, obviously. Now to the buyback. We're going to focus a little bit onto Rise. He's going to get Press the attack, though, with that shard coming into effect. But it looks like the buildings are what they want to go for mostly, as Lil Nick finds Dunhow. I believe that's a dieback onto him. Indeed it is. So full lane of Rax in favor of Simply TOOBASED, and still another minute with no line, and they know that. Wouldn't be surprised for them just to go mid now.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the fight that Black and Yellow had to try to find a way to win, but they're dueling an Aegis, and the help just arrives too easily. There's an outpost that they're fighting next to. Heroes can just TP in and counterplay that move, no problem. At least with no Aegis, maybe there's a clearer path to victory in the coming fight. Like if you do catch TA like that and kill her off, maybe you can go from there, but you still need to get through a BKB Lincolns. It's not an easy kill whatsoever. You can get Nightmared as the TA. Yeah, this is tough. I like what they're doing here, though. They're going for it. I know they're 4 and 5.
This looks like the last-ditch effort for sure, as Ollie actually put himself in a pretty bad spot, but they don't have a sentry or anything to give vision for him. The coil comes out, but it's going to be snapped immediately into the press the attack. Rises, gets off the doppelganger, but you can see which one is real thanks to the Viper Strike. Into the beautiful double boundless strike. Astral puts the PL in a terrible spot. He gets silenced right after the fact. Does have his Manta if he's in trouble here. Chooses not to use it until now. Doppelganger onto the other side of Wukong's command. So it looks like he's going to live at the very least. And Flea might die in the enemy base. Gets nightmared for a little mini save there as Ryoya jumps in and absolutely deletes Jubei again. So only 2 members of Black and Yellow to try to defend this, as they are down 31-5. And game 1 is looking firmly in favor of Simply TOOBASED.
Yeah, they came prepared
to finish things off.
They definitely came prepared. Like they gave Black and Yellow the OD. They knew they were going to take it. They counterpicked it in the... Well, they didn't really counterpick it in lane, but they picked a mid laner that has good potential at not getting rolled and having counterplay